Everyone, everywhere, connected. That's basically the core goal of digital today. From, well, dad dancing robots and gaming to advertising and streaming. Digital experiences bring people together across cultures and continents. But you don't get that unity without technology. Cloud platforms that deliver speed, reliability and reach at a global scale. Which makes the partnership between Huawei Cloud and the digital advertising company Azerion a natural fit. Hello both.
Hi, I'm Sebastian Moesman, the Chief Strategy Officer of Azerion.
I'm Victor Chen, the President of Huawei Benelux and Airlines.
Huawei's cloud innovation partnered with Azerion's creativity and audience insight to build digital experiences that help brands connect more widely. No wonder everyone, everywhere is Azerion's new tagline.
Core business of Azerion is basically reaching the right audience for advertisers, getting the right ad in front of the right person. And every single ad that you see, whether it's on the screen outside or on your phone, happens through an auction. And there's so many of these ads and so many of these auctions. We're talking 30 billion data points every single minute just in our company Azerion, and we're certainly not the biggest on the planet in this space. That you can imagine that there's only one solution to get this really rolling, which is cloud and an enormous amount also of machine learning, algorithmic predictions, and generative AI now as the newest kid on the block. But if you then think about being locked into a single vendor, then it's also scary. Because if one of these global cloud providers would increase their price suddenly, or if their service is discontinued, or for maybe political reasons you're locked out, then your whole business stops.
Right.
And we cannot afford that. So what we said a few years back is we need to hedge this between multiple systems, being able to move the volume or the business to a certain cloud provider based on the context of that moment. It could be different per endpoint country, it could be different because of the contracting or renegotiation purposes, but for us it's the volumes are so big and the relationship is so strategic that we have to be able to outmaneuver, let's say, a single vendor.
It avoids jeopardy, basically.
Exactly, yeah.
So is that the sort of core benefit then of the cloud strategy, just that sheer capacity to allow you to operate the business?
Yeah, there's no way to transact the, let's say, 500,000 auctions we do every second of the day on an on-prem data center. Maybe you could get away with the processing needed, but the latency towards the endpoints where people are watching the ads will always be too long. So you need a hyperscaler like Huawei to really help you get the ad in time in the right place.
So going to Huawei, tell us then about this partnership with Azerion. How important is it to Huawei Cloud?
Yeah, our partnership with Azerion definitely is not only about being a customer and being a supplier. We are really about the joint innovation together. So when we first knew Azerion is one of the most innovative digital company in Europe, and we were super impressed how Azerion combined the strengths of online media and offline resources using the digital technologies to reach almost every customers here in Europe. And that's why we believe that is a great match. So we are so excited to see how we are using artificial intelligence and cloud technology to explore what we can revolutionize the advertising and publishing industry.
More broadly, I mean, it's good that this partnership is working so healthily. What are you seeing in terms of trends of cloud embracing and adoption and digitalization amongst companies?
All right. I think first of all, like the AI adoption is really accelerating, which means companies really need a strong, solid, reliable, while still flexible digital infrastructure, including networks and including clouds. So this is happening every single day, and we see that it's even accelerating. Second one, we also see increasing number of companies in European markets looking for the multi-cloud solutions. The multi-cloud is not only about a cloud, which means American clouds. So the companies are really trying to embrace, the innovation coming from the two sides of the world. Then with this multi-cloud strategy coming from the East, coming from the West, they will make, for example, more competition, better service, better price, and also gateway for companies in Netherlands and Europe to access the most innovative solutions from both sides of the world.
Well, let's go back to that first trend. You were talking about AI. How is Azerion adopting AI or implementing AI within its operations, as presumably every company now has to?
Yeah, it's crucial. So as I said already 10 years back, we were using machine learning and predictive algorithms, and now AI is basically the next wave of where we see the opportunities, is where we have the AI agent act as a virtual employee, basically. Because you can think about advertising as I'm going to advertise on that screen for this audience, but if you think about it, you might want to advertise differently in the morning, differently in the afternoon, differently in Madrid from Barcelona. You might differently from, let's say, one audience to the other. So if people need to manage these systems, yeah, they would have to manage thousands of lines of code, basically, and humans can't.
It's not doable.
So now, and so we didn't. And so there was a sort of a glass ceiling to the effectiveness of digital advertising because the limitation of people. And now, when you put a virtual agent on top of this and say, okay, these are thousands of line items which might work or might not work to clients. Can you please test with a red background, green background, rain, sun, Madrid, Barcelona, and just keep on testing every 5 minutes or every minute with a different setup. Now it can be done. So for us in advertising, it's crucial to adopt this to get to the next level of efficiencies.
And it's interesting, I mean, obviously permeating the whole of this conversation, it's clear that the partnership is working. This is the sort of Azerion Huawei partnership, but what lessons do you draw from that for potential for wider Chinese European partnerships going forward?
First of all, I think the digital transformation in China is not ignorable. And taking computing power, for example, China today accounts up for almost 30% of the computing power globally. That is merely 5% lower than the United States. And you can imagine leveraging the massive scale in China. A lot of great ideas can be rapidly incubated. And also, the cost will be optimized, the efficiency will be improved, which all make China a powerful partner in digital transformation. The second one, that in the past 5 years, we saw the trade between Europe and China increase 30%, reaching $260 billion last year. And this opens a lot of opportunities for technology companies, like for innovation, for business opportunities, including advertising firms.
Well, it's very positive. I'm going to ask you to be equally positive, hopefully, about the partnership between the two companies. If I had to pin you down to a single word to describe the partnership, and it can be forward-facing if you want, or just explaining as it is now, what is the one word you would go for to describe the Azerion Huawei partnership?
Entrepreneurship, fast, pioneering, always deliver on what we promise.
We're going to give you that one word of entrepreneurship. We're going to stick with entrepreneurship. One word from you?
For me, it would be a Champions League football match.
That is not one word.
If you say it,
if
you say
it very quickly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You wanted me to explain, so I think the people at Huawei are all Champions League level, and basically they're part of our team playing a match in Europe to provide something that there's also quite a lot of competition for. And in the multi-cloud, it's not easy. It sounds like, yeah, let's do 3 clouds, but this is not trivial stuff. So you need a fantastic team to make that very complicated promise really work. And so for me, really that top level match where you have to be a team, you can't just have a striker or a goalkeeper. This is really for me the best way to describe the partnership.
Entrepreneurial Champions League footballers.
Yeah.
We'll settle for that. Thanks both very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.